So everybody thinks they know what the hardest year of dental school is. A lot of people will say D1, maybe some will say D2, but after going through it myself, I actually think the hardest year of dental school is D3. And honestly, it's not even close. Let me explain why. And in this video, I'll rank all 4 years of dental school from easiest to hardest. What's going on, everybody? My name is Dr. Eli, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new to the channel, I'm a first-year orthodontics resident and I recently graduated dental school in May of 2025. On this channel, I make videos with advice for pre-dental students. I also vlogged my entire dental school journey and I'm currently vlogging my residency journey as well. So if that's something that interests you, please make sure you subscribe to the channel, like the videos, comment under the videos, and share the channel with anyone else you think might find it interesting. So like I said, I just recently graduated dental school about 11 months ago. So I've lived through all 4 years. And granted, every dental school is a little different. There's going to be a little bit of variability in everyone's unique dental school experience. But personally, I think D3 is the hardest year of dental school across the board. But before I get into why I think D3 is the hardest year, let's talk about what the easiest year of dental school is. So coming in at the easiest year of dental school, in my opinion, I've got to give it to D2. Now, don't get me wrong. Just because I'm saying it's the easiest year doesn't mean I think it's an easy year. It's actually pretty challenging because at a lot of schools, D2 year is your first year taking all the classes that are actually in the dental discipline. So it may be your first time learning about prosthodontics, endodontics, etc. However, on the flip side, it is a lot more enjoyable because it's the first time you're not taking all of those hard science classes. And even though you are taking some science classes like pharmacology or maybe oral biology, it's balanced by a lot of the different dental disciplines, and it really makes your learning experience a lot more enjoyable because you finally feel like this is what I've been working so hard for. I'm finally in dental school, I'm finally learning about dental stuff, and I'm not taking those super hard basic science classes that I already took 1,000 times over. But then it's also difficult because now you have to balance a lot more lab time and learning new skills in the lab. So during your free time on the weekend or maybe late nights after school, you're in the lab practicing different things, different preps you're learning, how to cut a crown, how to make dentures, and things like that. So again, I'm not saying it's easy. I just think it's the easiest out of all the 4 years. Now, I also might be a little biased because I think at BU, the D2 schedule is a lot more chill. Honestly, up until March of D2 year, you're chilling. But once you get to March, you get slammed. And of course, my dental school, Boston University, didn't have a spring break. So from March to July, when we had our white coat ceremony, it was like we were running a sprint. But guess what it was getting us ready for? D3, just like I said, the hardest year. So the reason why I think it's like the least hardest year is because you still have a lot of control over your own time. You're not seeing patients or responding to phone calls and things like that. Your stress is predictable. You know your deadlines. You know what classes you need to work harder at and study for. You're pretty much in a controlled state of chaos. You may have a little bit of stress. That's normal. You're in dental school. But at least it's academic stress. You study, you take the exam, you practice, you take the practical, and you move on to the next one. But at the bottom line, no one's calling you after 7 p.m. because their temporary crown came out. Now, the next year that I think is this, I guess, second easiest is D4 year, for sure. A lot of people would rank that as their easiest year of dental school. But I personally feel like D4 year is difficult because you have to worry about boards, you have to worry about licensure, and you have to worry about finding out what you're gonna do after dental school. So while you're feeling more confident clinically and you finally feel like you have a grip on a lot of the things that you're doing, you're worried about graduating, you're worried about getting into residency, you're worried about passing your licensure exam, you're worried about finishing all your requirements. There's a lot of stress that goes into D4 year. But at my dental school, the thing I'm thankful for is that we really weren't taking classes D4 year. It's really just like seminars. And so aside from boards, I wasn't really studying for much, and that was honestly great. And trust me, after you get past match day or you get a job and you figure out what you're doing next year, D4 is definitely shifts to becoming the easiest year. So if you're looking at March and on, D4 is easier than D2, of course. Now, coming in at the second spot, and this would be number 1 as the hardest year of dental school for a lot of people, it's gotta be D1. Trust me, I get it. D1 is brutal, and everyone expects D1 to be your hardest year of dental school because you're still getting adjusted. You're learning at a much higher volume than you ever have before. Depending on what school you're at, you may be learning hand skills as well. So now you got a whole new set of skills thrown at you that you have to adapt to and learn. And you're going through that first year and really struggling with imposter syndrome because you don't know these people, you don't know their background, and you sometimes get the feeling that everyone's doing better than you. But I didn't rank it number one because honestly, I feel like you don't know enough to fully be stressed yet. The expectations are a little bit lower and you don't beat yourself up so much for failing because you're new at everything. And again, the main reason why you'll see that I say D3 is the hardest, in D1, you don't have to deal with patience. Quick intermission to the video. If you're watching the video and you've made it this far and you're enjoying the content, please drop a like on the video. It's right here under the video. Just click the little thumbs up button. It's of no cost to you and it does so much to help boost the video and the channel in the YouTube algorithm. Thank you so much and I hope you enjoy the rest of the video. So coming in at my hardest year of dental school is D3 year. And man, I will never forget that first month of D3 year where I was like, what is going on? Think about it. In D3 year, everything hits at once. You're still taking a full load of classes, at least in my dental school, but now you're also responsible for patients. You're still being graded. You may have an attendance requirement for clinic. There's so many different things that you have to think about. All the while, you're trying to figure out, am I gonna apply for residency at the end of this year? What do I wanna specialize in? Do I need to go shadow? Do I need to do this? It's a lot. D3 is really the year where you realize, oh, it's real now. I still remember when I had my first denture patient and I'm realizing that like all the things that we were doing in lab for removable prosthodontics, where I was really just trying to get my work done and leave lab, I had to just recall on the fly. And thank God I actually remembered some things and felt like I learned some things, because there were times where I was like, oh, I have to take a final impression today. I have to border mold. How do you do that again? And I would just hop on Google real quick. So it can be really hard during D3 because clinically you're inexperienced, but you're supposed to know everything. There's no more mannequins, there's no more do-overs. If you have to redo something, you're really gonna upset your patients. And I think another difficult thing about D3 and learning under different faculty or having different faculty supervise you in the clinic that aren't familiar with you in pre-clinic is that they may do things differently than the way you learned it. I still remember how we were expected to border mold with green stick, and then I saw some faculty doing it with PBS, and I was like, huh? Or making custom trays and them not being satisfied with the custom tray you made, or your custom tray all of a sudden not fitting or hurting the patient. It's just different. And D3 really tests your time management, because you have, at my school at least, clinic in the morning, class in the afternoon, maybe even clinic in the evening, and then you gotta go home and study, prepare for your patients the next day, all types of different things, and maybe even lab work on top of that. I remember at the beginning of D3, I was like, where is the time to study? And then of course, maybe this was a gift and a curse, but after I had my oral surgery rotation, I actually had a full month where I saw no patients because my patients were no showing or canceling or whatever it may be. And that just happened to be our busiest month with exams, and for once I actually felt like I had the time to study and prepare. Man, it was hard, and D3 was a really tough learning curve. I would say it probably took me the first 2 months to really feel comfortable in clinic, while also feeling comfortable with balancing classes outside of clinic and just rewiring my entire routine and how I was going to make everything fit in one day. The pressure of your mental, the pressure of your classes, your patients, your time, everything kind of just hits you at once, and it can be really overwhelming. So that's why I truly think that D3 is the hardest year of dental school. But honestly, every year of dental school comes with its own unique challenges in my opinion, and it's really hard to rank hardest to easiest or easiest to hardest, and that's my ranking, but I'm sure a lot of people would say different things. I even know some people where at their school, surprisingly, they'd say D2 is the hardest year. Especially because at some dental schools, you start seeing patients D2 year. So in conclusion, my ranking list for the years of dental school from hardest to easiest is D3, D1, D4, D2. So if you're about to start dental school, it's reasonable to be nervous for D1, but just understand that everyone else has done it, you can do it too. And every different year, you'll have to adapt and learn how to juggle different situations. Thank you for watching. I hope you got something out of this video and I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see y'all in the next video. I got baguettes in the back of my ring and I went trying to hit. I told her she gotta run to the team before she can talk to the lit. Before she can talk to the jet. Lamb chop, I just pulled up in some food.